Okay, my first worm, we're going to continue to package up. I showed you one quick vid of, one of them, but I've got quite a few to make, so we're going to hang out. We're going to shoot a little video, a little bit longer than our normal 60 seconds to 3 minutes here. So again, I like to open up the bags. We got to get the bottom flat here so that these nice premium castings go all the way down to the bottom, and we get the max out of these bags as we can. So again, roughly 8 cups of worm castings are going to go into each one of these bags. You're going to get probably some cocoons from worms. You're going to get some worms for sure. But hey, that's all part of the natural organic compost of this, right? You want premium castings in your gardens, and these worms will help regulate that very, very well for you. So again, I like to top this off as high as I can. We're going to pack it down. Flip this down, make sure its bottom's open as possible. And again, we're looking at roughly 2 pounds of worm castings. Again, depending on moisture content, they do dry out a little bit. They do stay pretty moist in the bags. That would be, bag number, 2 for the day. Anyways, so when you're looking at, you're looking at doing your own worm farming or whatever, you don't have to go with these fancy bags. I see a lot of people just put them in Ziploc bags, and that's fine. For me, I'm trying to get just a brand out there, have a little fun with the colors, just really kind of make things pop a little bit more. And at the end of the day, I know the castings by themselves really just kind of sell themselves based on, how great these are really, doing for people's gardens. As long as you're keeping your gardens, moist, and you're keeping the water in there, these castings are really airy, and what they do is they lock in moisture. And so instead of having to water maybe every other day in the Northern California heat, beautiful bag here, you put these castings in, and what it'll do is it's like little Orbeez. They suck up the water and they hold that moisture in there, so your plant roots consistently have at least a good source of water and microbes that are in these. Again, it's very, very live in microbes, which keeps your root system looking strong. It keeps down insects, and it really keeps your overall plant health very, very strong. They can be used on any plant, any type of species of plant. You're not hurting them. This is completely all natural. The only difference here is I'm farming it in a garage rather than it being farmed out in your garden. Some people can buy worms, like I sell worms right now. So you can buy worms, put those in your garden. I say they will come up, and birds will end up eating them out of your garden. So you're kind of better off just getting some My First Worm castings, where you're going to have the baby cocoons in here, another beautiful bag, and you're going to have your baby worms in there, and just bury it around that root ball of your plant and let the worms do their magic. The worms will continue to hatch in the cocoons. There are plenty of cocoons in every one of these bags, as well as the actual lively castings themselves. So quite a bit of work goes into sifting these. I'm still a little prehistoric with my sifter over there. There's nothing fancy, nothing overly automated. A little shake, rattle, and roll, if you wish, to get these castings to a finer 1/8 inch screening. I do believe in the finer 1/8 inch screening just because they're much lighter, fluffier. I don't sell anything that's higher than that. And what I mean by that is this is a little bit coarser. So it's just not as, to me, it's not as premium, to be honest with you. I mean, I want my product to go into the best plants being produced out there. And, there's some plants that are for gardening, and there's some plants that are maybe for home use, right? And I have a few customers that swear by My First Worm castings for their own, home grow use. And I can't imagine a better way to do this. You're not using chemicals. You're keeping it natural. You don't want any chemical in your body, and this is a great natural way to do that. Using castings means that you can just mix that with your natural composting. You don't need to have really special soils that are packed with a whole bunch of stuff that you don't want to have in it. Just mix it with worm castings, and that's all you really need. So you can see, I'm not getting a lot, almost what, half a bin of these worm castings is producing a couple, probably 6 bags to one of these bins. So you know, there's quite a bit of time, energy, definitely time and energy that goes into these bags. And you know, what I'm selling them for is really inexpensive for what you're getting. For getting a premium worm casting, I mean, you're not going to get anywhere cheaper than this and the quality that there's there. If you ever question the quality of it, hey, watch my videos. I got plenty of them on YouTube, and I also have some on Instagram and TikTok, and I even have a Facebook account. If you go to the back of this bag, there's a QR code on here, and that QR code will take you to all my social media sources. I also have a store that's on Etsy. If you were looking to buying online, there's an option there. The problem with Etsy is you are going to be dealing with some shipping costs, as it does cost to ship, and it's not very cost friendly. So, you know, it is a little bit more pricey to go online than it would be to, you know, be local. But I still want to make sure that, you know, these castings are offered to, you know, anyone, anywhere you may want to be. Also on our store, you can buy the castings, like I said, but you can buy this hat that you're looking at. I've got black and I have gray, and we're right now designing some fun shirts as well. Man, these stickers are hard to get off here. So there's, you know, if you want to just, hey, have, you know, something new for your hat collection, and you want to sport a new hat, hey, you know, hop on to the QR code on the back of these stickers here. It'll take you right to my Etsy store, and we'd be happy to ship that out to you. So again, they are Richard's trucker style hat 112s, which I find to be, you know, pretty universal hat. It is trucker style, so, you know, it's one size if you wish fits all, so you can adjust it. And the entire hat is all embroidered in here, so it's really great, amazing embroidering, great solid hat. You know, I don't leave home without my hat, and it's a discussion piece. You get out and people are like, "What is this? My first worm, right?" And it's just a discussion piece. So, you know, if you like what you're seeing, you know, like and subscribe. I appreciate everyone's support, and you know, again, likes and subscriptions are free. So again, my first worm. Peace.